Let's look at our big question. How can synonyms and antonyms help me understand new words? In our reading, sometimes the author is going to put synonyms and antonyms right there in the story. We can use words around it to help us understand the story and to help us understand what those words mean. Let's look at how synonyms and antonyms can help me understand new words. A synonym is a word that means almost the same thing as another word. Sometimes synonyms aren't exactly the same, but we can get fairly close. An antonym is a word that means the opposite of another word. So synonyms, S synonym, S same. Antonym means opposite. Can you give a synonym for the underlined word? Let the contest begin, cried Vanessa. A synonym for begin. Let the contest start, cried Vanessa. That might be a good synonym. Thomas grinned and said, I'm ready. Can you give a synonym for the word grinned? I bet you said smiled, because grinned and smiled are synonyms. They're not exactly the same, but they're fairly close. Vanessa silently watched as Thomas and Pedro ate as many pizza slices as they could. Silently. Can you think of a synonym for silently? Well, silently means to be very, very quiet, but not talking at all. But I would say Vanessa quietly watched as Thomas and Pedro ate as many pizza slices as they could. Again, it's not exactly the same, but it's fairly close. With synonyms, we're trying to get as close as possible. Now let's do the same, but let's do it for antonyms. Remember, antonym means the opposite. Pedro picked up his fifth slice and groaned softly. Can you think of an opposite for the word softly? Pedro picked up his fifth slice and groaned loudly. That would be an antonym. The pizza box was nearly empty. An antonym for empty would be full. The pizza box was nearly full. Antonym, again, being the opposite. I find pizza eating contests exciting. Can you think of a good antonym for exciting? I bet you said, I find pizza eating contests boring. And will the winner please stand up? Although this isn't nice, will the loser please stand up? Loser being the opposite of winner, or antonym of winner. We can use clues from our story to help us figure out words. Here is a synonym clue. When Jackie got the first strike on him, Babe Ruth was angry. After Jackie struck him out, he was furious. Furious clearly means angry. Right there in the story, the author gave you both. Here's another synonym clue. The wonderful roar of the crowd filled Jackie's ears. To her, it was the most splendid sound in the world. Splendid. I wonder what the synonym is. Well, if something is splendid, and it tells us that it was a wonderful roar of the crowd, it must be something positive. Wonderful and splendid are synonyms. Here are some synonyms that you can make. Can you think of a mild word for thin and a strong word for thin? What about loud? Can you do loud? And smart. Can you think of a mild synonym for smart and a strong word for smart? Maybe you should use the vocab box at the top. I hope you enjoyed learning about synonyms and antonyms. Please review this as necessary.